Everyone walked past him every day, but nobody knew the truth about the old man sitting on the street corner. They saw dirty clothes, tired eyes, and a person who had lost everything. They never saw the heart of a man who was still giving kindness to the world, even when the world had given him nothing. On a freezing night, when the city lights were shining and people were rushing home, Daniel sat quietly outside a small coffee shop. The cold wind touched his face, but he didn't move. He was not waiting for money. He was not asking anyone for help. He was waiting for one thing: a chance to help someone. Daniel had learned a long time ago that sometimes the smallest kindness could become the biggest miracle. Years before, Daniel had a normal life. He worked as a mechanic in a small garage. He had a loving wife, a little daughter, and a simple dream: to give his family a happy life. Every morning his daughter would run to him and say, "Daddy, promise me you will always be kind." Daniel would smile and answer, "I promise." But life changed when his wife became seriously ill. He spent everything he had trying to save her. He sold his house, his car, and everything valuable, but he could not save her. After losing his wife, Daniel lost his job because he could not focus anymore. Slowly, the man who once helped everyone became the person everyone ignored. But one thing never disappeared: his kindness. That night, while Daniel was sitting outside the coffee shop, he noticed a young woman walking out. She looked worried. She searched her bag again and again. "My phone. Where's my phone?" she whispered. Daniel watched her for a moment. She looked scared. He stood up slowly. "Are you okay?" Daniel asked. The woman looked surprised. She looked at his old clothes, then looked back at his eyes. "I need to call my father, but I can't," she said. Daniel reached into his pocket. He had only $1 left, the last money he had. He gave it to her. "Use this phone booth across the street," he said. The woman looked at the dollar and then at him. "But this is your last money." Daniel smiled. "Maybe I needed it, but you need it more." The woman was speechless. Most people ignored him. Some people walked away from him. But this stranger gave away his last dollar without thinking. She made the call. A few minutes later, a luxury car arrived. A man stepped out and ran toward her. "Emily, are you okay?" The woman hugged her father. Then she pointed at Daniel. "That man helped me." The father looked at Daniel. For a moment he didn't understand. Then he walked toward him. "Thank you," he said. Daniel simply nodded. "It's nothing." But the father noticed something. Daniel was shaking from the cold. He looked at Emily and understood. This man had helped them while he was suffering himself. Before leaving, Emily said, "I won't forget you." Daniel smiled. "That's enough." The car drove away. Daniel sat back down. He thought the moment was over, but he was wrong. The next morning, Daniel woke up and saw a warm jacket, food, and a small envelope beside him. He opened it. Inside was a note: "Kind people deserve kindness too." Daniel looked around. Nobody was there. For the first time in many years, someone had thought about him. Days passed. Then one afternoon, the same luxury car stopped near him. The man from before stepped out. His name was Robert. "Daniel, I need to talk to you." Daniel looked confused. "Why?" Robert smiled. "Because my daughter has not stopped talking about what you did." Daniel looked away. "It was just $1." Robert shook his head. "No, Daniel, it was more than money. You showed my daughter that good people still exist." Then Robert said something that shocked him. "I want to offer you a job." Daniel looked surprised. "A job?" "Yes, I own several businesses. I need someone I can trust." Daniel hesitated. "I don't think I'm the right person." Robert smiled. "That's exactly why you are." Daniel accepted. But he didn't know his life was about to change completely. When Daniel started working, everyone noticed something different about him. He treated everyone with respect. He remembered names. He helped workers who were struggling. People began saying, "That man has a different heart." Months later, Robert asked Daniel to attend a special event. There were hundreds of people there. Daniel walked in and saw something unexpected. On the stage was a picture of his daughter, the same little girl who once told him to always be kind. Robert noticed the picture. "Who is she?" Daniel looked at it with tears. "My daughter." Robert asked softly, "What happened?" Daniel looked down. "I lost her years ago." Then Robert handed him an envelope. Daniel opened it. Inside was a letter. His hand started shaking. It was from his daughter. The letter said, "Dad, if you ever read this, I want you to know I am proud of you. Mom always told me that kindness never dies." Daniel couldn't breathe. He looked at Robert. "How did you get this?" Robert explained. Years ago, his company had helped families in need. Daniel's daughter had written a letter for a kindness project, and Robert's organization kept it. He had never expected to find her father. Daniel cried, not because he was sad, because after many years, he finally felt that his promise was complete. His daughter wanted him to stay kind, and he did. From that day, Daniel started a foundation to help homeless people, struggling families, and anyone who felt forgotten. People who once walked past him now came to hear his story. One reporter asked him, "Daniel, after everything you went through, why did you still help others?" Daniel smiled. "Because when I had nothing, kindness was the only thing I still owned." The reporter asked, "What is the biggest lesson you learned?" Daniel looked at the crowd. "Never judge someone by what you see. The person you ignore today might be the person who changes your life tomorrow." Years later, Daniel was no longer the man sitting alone on the street, but he never forgot that cold night, the night when he gave away his last dollar, because that small act of kindness didn't just change someone else's life, it saved his own. And sometimes, the smallest kindness creates the biggest miracles.